And we're back. You mentioned no such thing. Miss Grail, you created a portal of Godor, not with intentions killing Sir Belduke. But you were after this letter, weren't you? That's merely wild conjecture. I didn't even know about the letter at the time. You didn't? No, that's very strange. When Miss Mailer came by that night, Sir Belduke was busy writing that letter. And that's when you entered, carrying a bottle of tomato juice. There's no way you wouldn't have known that your master was writing a letter to someone. You could have known even more than that. For instance, perhaps you knew what he was writing about. That's enough. I served Master Belduke as butler. I never would have pried into his private affairs. Whatever it was he wrote about in his final letter to the storyteller. But she knew. No one else has mentioned that the letter was to the storyteller but her. It was no concern of mine. Your Honor. Yes, defense. I like Miss Grail's last statement be added to her testimony. Any objections, Inquisitor Barnum? No, my lord. Very well. Witness, include what you just told us in your testimony. As you wish, my lord. Yeah, but how do you know it's for the... Let me get this straight. You didn't know anything about the victim's letter? That's right. I believe I said as much already. Then, how did you know? How did you know it was addressed to the storyteller? Ah, indeed. Why don't you answer his question, witness? It's true this letter is addressed to the storyteller. But when did you find about it? I have spoken about the murder with many people over the past 3 months.
Hang on!
Me, a lady. Excuse me, Miss Mailer. Oh, sir! I thought it caught her off guard, but it's her screech that caught me off guard. Is there perhaps anything you'd like to add, Miss Grail's testimony? No, not really. In that case, let me ask you a different question. Did you tell Miss Grail about Sir Belduke's letter? I don't know. Do not beat around the bush, witness. Answer the question. If I may briefly interrupt. I am testifying right now. If you wish to ask a question, Miss Mailer, please do so once you have finished interrogating me. She's not going to let me question Mailer, but from the looks of it. And she's so keen to prevent her from answering. This might be a critical point to testimony. Gotta find another way of fishing for that information. Witnesses, continue testifying. Go back to that.
Hold it!
Yeah, we're getting back to the point. Everyone has been very kind to me, though you also have told me all sorts of things. I must have heard about it from someone at some point. Well, the incident was certainly much talked about. Would you not agree, defense? Does her testimony hold together? No. There is a huge contradiction in Miss Grail's testimony. You are becoming very predictable, Sir Blue Knight. Look at this sword. there's a contradiction, I hope you have the evidence to prove it. Here's my chance. There's only one way to expose this contradiction. I can't present it. I don't have anything that says that male lady kept key secrets, but she has said it. The defense has no intention of presenting evidence. What? The proof that there is contradiction cannot be found in the court record. What does it mean, this, Wright? The professor pointed out to me in the previous witch trial. In this court, an attorney's arsenal isn't limited to the grand court record. This is supposed to be Layton, but we're looking at Gray Earl for some reason. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. Should one witness' testimony differ from another's testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered contradiction, can it not? Juxtaposing contradictory testimonies from different witnesses is the key. Miss Gray Earl, your testimony contradicts another one that we've heard in this court today.
Objection!
Why are you pointing with the statue? Charlie, help! Why? There's a single word that gave you away, Miss Gray Earl. What do you mean by that? The name of the recipient. There are only a few people who knew the intended recipient of that letter. 4 people, to be precise. Only 4 people? First was Sir Belduke, the author of the letter. Then there was Miss Mailer, who delivered it. And of course, the storyteller, its recipient. As well as one more person. The one who stole the letter, using a portal spell, and swapped it with the blank sheets of parchment. The witch. Maybe I did. Maybe I spilled beans with the letter, maybe I told the butler. You did what? Well, because you see, me and the butler were friends. It's about our dear Sir Belduke. I feel like I might have told her about it after all. See? If I did, that's how she knew. About the recipient, I mean.
Objection!
I understand you are friends with Miss Gray Earl, and you want to help her out. But I've got a piece of advice, Miss Mailer. You shouldn't lie, even for a friend. Huh? Remember your testimony? You told us about the courier's duty to keep the details of letters confidential. And you have also testified that you have never broken the obligation, remember? Uh-huh.
Objection!
But hold on just a minute. As the victim's butler, Jean Gray Earl might have had a chance to catch a glimpse of the envelope.
Objection!
No, she didn't. When Miss Mailer came with the delivery, Sir Belduke was still writing that letter. In fact, he was in the middle of it. At the time, the letter had not been addressed yet. And the next morning, when the body was discovered, that letter was already in the letterbox. Keep in mind that Miss Gray Earl would have had no opportunity to see it then either. So, she went to report the crime without even setting foot in the study. And then Miss Mailer appeared and retrieved the letter. Needless to say, Miss Gray Earl couldn't have learned of the letter's recipient afterwards. Or maybe you have a good explanation, Miss Gray Earl. I'd very much like to hear one. Can you please tell the court how you found out the recipient's name? Mr. Wright. Yes? Do you remember what I said when I was called to the witness stand? Yes. At the heart of all alchemy lies the pursuit of rules and logic that govern nature. You have demonstrated the power of your own logic. Miss Gray Earl. Are you saying? Yes, I confess. The abhorrent witch who used the spell Godor to swap the contents of that letter, and who took the life of Master Belduke. It was none other than I. I was an only child, born to a poor family. I've been a witch since I was very little. When did I become aware of it? I don't remember. Although I was but a young child, I knew that being a witch was a crime. That's why I hid my witch's scepter and I wouldn't use magic at all. My father worked as a bricklayer. He toiled every day, but we could hardly make ends meet. One winter day, we couldn't afford to pay the rent. We were going to lose the house. My mother was in tears, and my father was sitting with his head down, wordless.
I want money for Mummy and Daddy.
That day, I suddenly remembered about the witch's scepter that I had hidden. The Goldor spell. I thought I'd try it, just once, casting the spell. But at the time, I had no idea what an irreversible mistake that would be. Even though no one told me, I knew from the very beginning what magic I was able to use. What should I turn into gold? I was thinking about it really hard, the little girl that I was. Something that wouldn't stand out, that could be taken for a work of art. Then I decided. I chose a pretty leaf that had fallen into our garden. But it wasn't the right thing to do after all. I was terribly punished for using magic, even just the once. Punished? In what way were you punished? I placed the leaf down in the back garden and cast the spell, but then Margaret suddenly walked in front of me. Margaret. My closest childhood friend. Margaret, right before my eyes, she was turned into gold. Oh dear me. I screamed and cried, but I knew I couldn't ask anyone for help. If anyone had seen it, they would have known it was the work of magic. And I knew Margaret wasn't coming back. That's terrible. And my mother and father's faces flashed before my eyes. We may have been very poor, but we were always happy together. Had I been captured as a witch, I feared my parents probably wouldn't be safe either. That thought tormented me more than anything, and so I made the decision. I decided to end my own life. I threw myself into the river near the town. It was winter, and the water was cold as ice. I couldn't even move. It was painful. My consciousness started drifting away. The next thing I knew, I was in Master Beluk's residence. He risked his own life jumping into the freezing river to save me. I burst into tears and told him everything. I didn't want to go back home. I would only end up causing my parents grief. Master Beluk listened to me without interrupting, and then he told me this.
You can stay here, but from now on, you must live as a boy.
Master Beluk met with my parents and explained everything to them. They were very sad, but they agreed it would be best if I didn't return home. Poor Miss Guerrero, it must have been so awfully for her. Master bought the house for my parents, so they wouldn't have to worry about paying rent anymore. As for Margaret, turned into gold, he brought her to his residence. He knew that if anyone saw her, they would report an incident of witchcraft. And this Miss Margaret, is she still in that Goldston state? Yes, she is. That's strange. We have received no reports of anyone by that name having gone missing. Margaret is being kept in the basement under Master's study. The basement? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this Margaret, isn't she a... Yes, my dear friend was a goat that we were keeping at her house. Well, goat. Till then, Master Belduke had mainly been researching medicine. But since the incident with Margaret, he became known as an alchemist. That's when he became an alchemist. I was wondering why the goat was the only thing not covered in dust. That's how I started a new life as Master Belduke's butler. Sir Belduke would sometimes work as a physician, curing the townspeople of their illnesses. As his assistant, you have also shown commitment to helping the townspeople through your work. I forgot about being a witch. I was able to live happily, at peace with everyone. I thought I could stay like that forever. But those peaceful days came to an abrupt end. Tell us, what in the world was the cause? Even I'm not quite sure what led to this. However, it all started 3 months ago with that lightning strike. Master Belduke and I were on our way back home, carrying specimens for experiments. An old bell tower appeared in the flames. Everyone who saw it was stupefied. But the expression on Master Belduke's face was unlike anything I'd seen before. What do you mean? His face went pale and twisted in sheer terror. He was shaking violently. It wasn't just astonishment at an unusual phenomenon. It seemed as he was afraid of something more concrete. Perhaps Sir Belduke saw something the others couldn't. He cancelled his experiments for that night and began writing a letter to someone. A letter? I found out about it and I brought him his bottle of tomato juice. He's writing feverishly, as if he were possessed. I saw some things. A few words in that letter. Expose everything. Cannot keep the secret any longer. The truth about the witch. Master Belduke was going to confess that I was a witch. Everything went black in front of my eyes. I will never forget the feeling that overwhelmed me at that moment. Is that when you decided to commit the crime? What I did first was accidentally singe a part of the wall in my room. It was just an excuse to repaint that section on the wall green. Then you also painted the wall behind the painting in Sir Belduke's study. And when that fateful night came, I used a syringe to inject a soporific through the cork and into the bottle of tomato juice. So many thoughts were running through my head as I wished Master a good night. I opened the portal behind him. He was right there in front of me, asleep. I reached for the letter in the letterbox, taking care not to wake him. And then I happened to notice the name on the envelope. Storyteller. When I read that name, the world all around me turned black once more. It's impossible to avoid what is written by the storyteller. It seemed as if I could hear the doors to all escape routes shutting closed. It was the sound of despair. I would like you to believe me that the thought of taking Master Belluke's life never once occurred to me. I only planned to steal that letter and then disappear. But as I looked upon Master sleeping there in front of me, at that moment, I felt an evil presence awaken within me. Why did he save my life? And why did he betray me? Before I realized what I was doing, my hands were clutching his neck. He didn't move at all, so I kept on clutching his neck. That's it. That's the truth about what happened 3 months ago. There is just one thing I fail to understand. Yes? You said you wanted to run away once you have stolen the letter. Yet despite that, you continue to live in Sir Belluke's residence, and now, here you stand. Why did you not run away? My life had been thrown into disarray due to the absurdity of magic. I had learned all about alchemy living at Master's residence. Alchemy is concerned with the logic that governs the world. I wanted to believe that there is truly such a thing. So I stayed in that place hoping to one day see the irrational nature of magic overcome by the power of reason. Magic being overcome by reason. That night, I swapped a letter of blank sheets of parchment and waited for the sun to rise. I resolved to wait for the day when my true identity could be exposed through reason and logic. Master's death remained a mystery for 3 months, and people started to lose interest. Then you appeared, Mr. Wright. On the day you visited the residence, I was listening to your conversation from the other room. As the time finally came for me, my heart was racing with anticipation. Then, a few minutes after everyone entered the room, an unbelievable incident took place. That incident? A witch appeared in Master's study. What? I wanted to get a look at the witch, so I created a portal in the wall behind the painting. Precisely at that moment, Goldor. The witch used one of the very spells that I can use too. When I heard those words, a single thought flashed through my mind. This was my chance to dispose of my witch's scepter. I knew at the time what kind of witch the Inquisition would be looking for. A witch that can use Familia and Goldor. It occurred to me that I only need to change one of the magic gems. I previously found that the Familia gem was purple. I realized that I swapped the Goldor magic gem for my amethyst. I could pin the blame for my crime on that other witch. So you changed one of the gems and threw this witch's scepter into that room, is that correct? Exactly.
Objection!
Wait a minute, Jean Greyrel. This statement of yours is highly problematic. How so, Inquisitor Barnum? Yes, you were right. Could someone explain to me what this is about? I'm a witch, indeed. A sinful creature that killed the person to whom she owed her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me. Oh. Wait, what? Charlie, it's all getting all messy and gross. Order the courtroom. What is the meaning of this? Jean Greyrel admits to killing Sir Belduke, but not to turning Sir Layton into gold. That is the gist of it, my lord. But lying about it is meaningless. Lying? Just being a witch is crime in itself. You're confuzzled and scared? And the punishment for that crime is the same, regardless of whether she took one person's life or two. That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking. Grey Earl still claims she never laid a finger on the professor. But if that's no point in lying, does that mean she must be telling us the truth? So in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, then who was it? Mind if I say something? Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right time for a moment for you to talk? Yeah, well, that's kind of why I was staying quiet until now. But either say it now or never. Don't simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say? Oi, Bluey. Yes? I need to make sure about something. Meathead's not what it used to be, you know? Yes. The alchemist butler, Lady Butler, she slipped a sleep mat into his drink. That's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it. And then she strangled the alchemist afterwards? Yes, Sir Beldick was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't resist. That explains why we found no signs of a struggle at the crime scene. Yeah, about that. I let it slip earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? Told you that I had a few sips of that juice. And the sleep medicine mixed in when you made you sleep like a log. Yes, we remember. Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is between us, okay? You see, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened. It was unopened? Her meat throat was parsed, and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just there, waiting for me with a corkscrew conveniently laid next to it. I couldn't just let that go to waste. I swiftly pulled out the cork and got to drink it. What? So, in any case, you don't get what I'm getting at. The alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine. Huh? What? Witness, you went to the trouble of opening a bottle, found the crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents? That's what I've been telling you. You're starting to thirst. That doesn't justify what have you done.
Objection!
The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. He'll find out what it means to be dying of thirst in a more literal meaning. This is too much. I must pee the bed for comfort. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There's no need to investigate Sir Belduc's death any further. Indeed, you're right, Inquisitor. Her role in Sir Layton's incident is not entirely clear. But a person who kills her protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such. Belduc didn't drink the juice that night. And that's true. There's one thing here that doesn't add up. Mr. Wright, there's something about this that's bothering me. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in that man's testimony. You think so, Luke? Can I really turn a blind eye to that? Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle, but that claim contradicts a certain piece of evidence. What? Defense, I'd like a word with you. Yes, Your Honor. At this point, your client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there's a contradiction or in that testimony or not, should no longer be any of your concern. That may be so, Your Honor, but even though I'm here to defend the accused, the true duty of any attorney is to uncover the truth behind what happened. My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. Very well. Sir Blue Knight, let us hear about this contradiction you've discovered. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduc didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain. I'm losing my voice. There's too many voices. I would like to hear about this contradiction too. The defense shall present evidence. Where is the contradiction in this witness having been about being the one who opened the bottle of tomato juice? Isn't it? It's the juice dripping down his lip.
Take that!
The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. In one of those sketches, please take a look at Sir Belduc's mouth. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, we have already established that it was the tomato juice. Oh! Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduc didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night.
Objection!
Which means there's only one other possibility. The red line is, as we thought, first of all, blood. Sir Belduc must have tried to fight back the assailant, bit his tongue in doing so.
Objection!
Fortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier. The victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of struggle at the crime scene, and yet no such traces were found. That's what you made you assume the witch must have used Famalia. Yes, that's so. As I explained before, Master Belduc didn't struggle at all at the time. When I think about it now, in light of the new information, it is very unnatural. The victim didn't drink the soporific, yet didn't struggle. But what does that mean? If it's not tomato juice nor blood brought about through the struggle with the murderer, then what else could it be? Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it's blood after all. Yeah, right? It's gotta be that. We have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker. Indeed. Then there's gotta be a different reason for that blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death. What could have caused it? Your Honor, if I may ask one question. Question to whom? If I just clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch. That's why I need to question one person in particular. Amir is holding a bottle that has a skull on it. Did he take the cup too? Mister, can I ask you something? Yeah, don't give me that scary look, Bluey. I know nothing. Nothing at all. I've got nothing to tell. Yeah. Amir is as innocent as a little lamb, but as in confidence more than a sham. He'd better be off. He'd be better off without that bard. You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, right? Don't keep asking me about that one over and over again. So what if I did? Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day? Charlie, this man has single-handedly stole at least 4 pieces of evidence so far. Maybe 3 or 4? I don't remember what he stole in the first case. So I do bet he stole something, because that's just who he is. Nah, I didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Witness, just what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet. He peed his bed for comfort. What, so the legal seal evidence now? Alright, fine, jeez. Oh, why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about anything go missing. I'm innocent. Please believe me. truth could drown in his swimming eyes. Some tell lies, while others cannot tell lies. Looks like my gut feeling is right. He took something from the crime scene. Something that be directly connected to that red liquid around Belduke's mouth. What on earth did that man steal from the crime scene? A certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day. At this very moment, it's highly likely that item is right in front of our very eyes. What? It's here? Isn't that right, mister? Is it? I have no idea. Defender, I ordered you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene. At least they keep him still. Also, I like that it's Grail because the gate's broken.
Got it.
Do I have the wrong version of this game? Is that why? It's this bottle. The bottle? Miss Grail, I'd like you to clarify something for me. What would that be, Mr. Wright? Sir Belduke was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored? Master kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labeled so that it was clear that they were dangerous. They have all been confiscated. As for those labels, did they resemble the label on that guy's bottle? Mister, what are you doing with the Product Master's research? It's not what you think. I didn't have any evil intentions or nothing. That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill. Poison? What? The red liquid trickling down Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth, it was the deadly poison from the bottle this guy stole from the crime scene. This is outrageous. What? Order! 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 Whoa, 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 hey, whoa. Do you expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison? Poison? Am I gonna die?
Objection.
He stole this cup a month ago. 3 months ago. Just wait and see. Time will tell. Yeah, I guess. More importantly, I want to know why you have that bottle. Huh? Well, that's a... Remember how I told you I drank the alchemist's tomato juice? Dude, it's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times now. Well, that was when I saw it on the floor. This bottle right here. It was totally empty. I thought, you know, it's such a fancy looking bottle and all. You're only going to be mostly dead. Big difference. I'm a bit of a skull fancier. They have this air of danger about them, right? They certainly do. So since I was there and I was there too, I felt we were kind of meant for each other. I thought this bottle's so classy, I could die for it. Had any poison been left in the bottle, you would have died instantly. But if it was empty, it was probably harmless. Oh, hear that? I'm gonna live. Good thing I rinsed it well before use. I'm a subscriber of Gold Fancy magazine. But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course. Who could have poisoned him? Considering all the evidence and testimonies we heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. Sir Belduke was poisoned by... himself. It was, of course, Sir Belduke himself. Sir Belduke himself? Sir Belduke took that poison of his own will. His death was suicide.
Objection.
This is preposterous. A suicide? Inconceivable.
Objection.
Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Miss Grayrel, when you were strengthening Sir Belduke, he put up no fight whatsoever, is that correct? Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine. It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Mr. Belduke was already dead. He had poisoned himself. What? Would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth? I personally know of no poison that works instantly and causes such symptoms. Oh, you don't? I can't just tell them that it happens on TV all the time. There are certain plants in this area that contain a highly poisonous substance. In the course of his research, Master Belduke found a way to extract that poison. What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant, Labyrinthia? The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip into someone's food or drink. It would cause internal damage. It's a very powerful poison. Drinking it would induce a most painful death. And to think Sir Belduke could. But did Sir Belduke really choose such an agonizing death for himself? It doesn't seem like he suffered that much. I would like to know that too. Miss Grayrel. You mean to say Master killed himself? Right after exposing me as a witch? I can't believe it. He just wouldn't commit suicide. Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note. I can't say why Sir Belduke committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility. There's a piece of evidence like that? You have such any evidence, you ought to present it to court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduke's death could have been a suicide.
Take that!
That's Sir Belduke's letter. Let's see. It was addressed to Storyteller, wasn't it? This is the last letter written by Sir Belduke. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note.
Objection!
What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about. That's right. Well, there's one person who knows where this letter was really a suicide note. You mean the person who swapped its contents. In other words, you, Jean Grayrel. Witness, you stole Sir Belduke's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us what was written in it. I don't know. What? You don't know? I did steal the letter, yes. But I don't know what its contents were. You mean you have not read it? Couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that happened since Master Belduke saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times, but no matter what, I just couldn't. Miss Grayrel, can you tell us where that letter is now? I have it here. Oh! You're carrying it around with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for. That night, having killed Master Belduke, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and I was ready for it. So, until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord. Yes, witness. If you don't mind, could you please read it aloud? Now that I'm here, in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master wrote.
Hold it! Miss Grayrel, I think you should be the one to read it.
Me?
Sir Belduke wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
Yes, you're right. I see.
I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud. My dear friend, I hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bell tower
appear in the flames on that dreadful night. That lightning was a sign that we have angered the gods. What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept. However, I have grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer. I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
A daughter? I was not aware that Sir Belduke had a daughter.
Mr. Belduke seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Truth about the witch? Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Grey Earl.
Oh. The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Seeing her growing up, so strong and righteous, in defiance of her fate, had given me hope. A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink. There are so many things I wanted to tell her, but I could only manage a thank you. She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Master Belduke. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next. I intend to leave my residence to her, and I would like you to look out for her.
Alas, it is time for me to put my pen down, my dear friend. What I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand, but for now I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
This letter, it wasn't a denunciation of me being a witch.
Master Belduke cared about you until the very end.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along. So why did I? How could I have done that to him?
Miss Grey. My lord, what is it, Inquisitor Barnum? I think it is about time for the guilty verdict. Guilty? The Inquisition withdraws the charges against my FA and charges Jean Grey with being a witch. The complete and total fucking bummer. Yeah. All the evidence corroborates his accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
Not so fast, Inquisitor Barnum. What do you want now, Sir Blue Knight? Admittedly, Miss Grail did attempt to strangle Mr. Belduke, but he had consumed a deadly poison and was already dead at the time. Therefore, she is not guilty of murder. And one more thing, it also wasn't Miss Grayrel who turned Professor Layton into gold. There was another witch present in the crime scene. The defendant Maya saw her too. To put it simply, Miss Grayrel didn't kill anyone. Yeah, she didn't kill anyone, and yet you still want to burn her? Maya, do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? It's like everyone's against you and super frightening. I'm not a witch, but I've been thrown in this cage and almost sentenced for something I didn't do. And now you're about to do the same to another person? That's just not right. Is that all you have to say? Huh? The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. You forgot you're in Kangaroo Court, dumbass. Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This is the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire. But that's crazy. Why, Barnum? Inquisitor Barnum is absolutely right. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Grayrel? Yes. Very well then. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Grayrel is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the fire.
No! You can't!
Hold it!
Fluke, shut up!
Please!
Oh, that's Espella.
Espella?
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
There is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
Indeed, all witches shall be cast into the flames. That is the law of this town. A law that was written by your very own father. And furthermore, a law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinthia.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
What? Such insolence!
That's heresy! She's criticizing the storyteller's story! Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story!
Trials in which innocent people are sentenced to death by fire. I should make sure this is the last one.
What do you mean, Espella?
Since you're also keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean. The stipulation for ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bezella is burned, the witch trials will end. At present, I am under suspicion. You know very well why that is, don't you?
You? But you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty. I am the Great Witch Bezella.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Grayle free. Miss Cantabella. This shall be the last of the witch trials. No one else need be burned hereafter.
Espella, just what are you saying? I can't let you do that.
Please, Mr. Wright, let me do as I wish. I'm sorry, but this is a problem concerning the people of Labyrinthia. No! Please don't do it!
There must be another way! You don't need to do this!
It's all right, Luke, Maya, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Layton. I truly appreciate all you have done.
Why are you addressing Layton? He's dead.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella. Your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you. May we assume that you fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them?
I am Espella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bazella. I have lived hidden in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you. Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman! She is the Great Witch, Bazella.
This is just a rough case.
Espella.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, indeed.
Espella, this just isn't right. Let's go. Nick, give me a hand. Jump over there. But hurry!
They're getting away! Maya!
Help me, Nick! Espella! Quick, in here!
Stop! You've got to stop! Maya!
Wow. Looks like I've been delaying route you this whole time. That's how I escaped. That's where we're stopping.